Welcome into this session. This is our cardio and core session. With this session, first of all, the main thing is here is just do the best you can, but at any point during the session, you need to rest, stop, have some hydration, whatever it may be, that is absolutely fine. Whatever you need to do is fine. If that's stop altogether, if it's rest for 10 minutes, if it's just rest for a couple of seconds, then join back in, that is absolutely fine. I'm not an army drill sergeant. I'm here to provide you with the information and hopefully that you can follow along. If you haven't come to one of these sessions before, they can get quite difficult in parts. Today's session, we're going to do a moderately difficult one. I don't want to get you straight into the deep end straight away, so we're just going to have a small stepping stone. But over the next couple of weeks, they are going to get a bit harder as we progress, but you'll progress with it and you'll be able to cope with the intensity increase that we do. We already mentioned, but let's mention it again, that we have got a poll for today's session. Now, when I say a poll, it's literally anything that you can hold in both hands that's relatively lightweight. We don't want anything too heavy, and we want to be able to grip it quite easily as well. If you don't have anything, or you don't have the ability to hold on to it for whatever reason that may be, that's okay too. I'm going to show you some adaptations of how to do the exercises without the pole. But simply, for most of the exercises, it will just be doing the same movement, just not holding the pole. So I'll give you an example. When we go around like this, instead, we just do the arms around as if we are holding the pole. So it's just simulating the same movement, just without the pole. Nice and simple with that. To start with, we won't need the pole, but also, I should probably introduce myself to those who are new. So if you haven't seen already at the bottom here, my name's Ben. You might tell from my accent as well, I'm from the UK. I've got a C7 spinal cord injury, and I've been a personal trainer for over 10 years now, and I've been doing these classes with Gathering Strength for the last 5 years as well. I do this a lot, and I work with a lot of people with a lot of different ability levels, and I try and adjust all of my sessions the best I can to fit your ability levels. However, if there is anything that you can't do or need some adaptation, feel free to reach out either at the end of the class, or if you want to reach out via email, do it through Liz, and she can get that passed over to me, and then we can discuss some options of how we can make it work for you. And we've done that in the past to great effect with some people, so don't be afraid to do that. Okay, that's enough talking now. We can get started with today's session. We don't need the pole straight away, so we can pop that to the side in a nice safe space. And make sure we've got plenty of space around us so we're not going to hit anything or anyone. And we'll start with one arm here. We're going to move it round in a circle. Nice, good and controlled. Just getting that arm going round in a circle here. Nice and simple to start with. If you can't do a big full circle like this, the smaller one is fine. A slightly bent arm is also fine. As long as that shoulder is moving around, that's the main thing here. We want to warm up that shoulder, get it mobilized, and get it ready for the rest of the session. Good, nice and simple here to begin with. And let's change direction and go the opposite way now. So same movement, opposite direction. So still a circle to the side here, moving around. That's it. Nice work, everybody. Yeah, well, let's switch over to the other side now and get that one moving around as well. Nice, easy, controlled movements. And again, if you can't do a full circle on this side, you can do a slightly smaller one. Even if it's a different size to the other side, that's also fine. Yeah, let's change direction and go the opposite way around now. And this, what we're doing here is the mobility part of the session. We always put this in the beginning of the session. This helps to mobilize the joints, get everything ready and prepared, and it tells our nervous system that some activity is about to happen and it better get prepared for it. So that's how it sort of wakes up the body as such. Okay, on the next one now, we're going to reach over towards the opposite shoulder. However, if you can't reach all the way over like so, just come to the near shoulder. As long as we're getting that bend in the elbow here, that's the main thing. So reaching over towards the opposite shoulder or wherever you can get to. If that's too much as well on the shoulders, you can always come across the front. See, I'm still getting that elbow bend in there. That's the main thing. So as long as we're getting a bit of an elbow bend as we're moving those arms, that's the main thing here. So one side, then the other side. Good work. Nice. Okay, what we're going to do now is take one arm here. We're going to swing it forwards, reach it up above the head, or at least the best you can, and then swing it back down. Repeat that through there. If you can't bring it all the way up above your head, that's not a problem either. Just bring it up as high as you can. If that's head height, shoulder height, even if it's with a bent arm as well, that's okay. Just bring that arm up and bring it back down again. Good work, everybody. Let's switch over to the other side. Okay, now we're gonna breathing for a hug, arms out to the side, and repeat that movement there. Looks like we might be blessed with a nice sunset in the background for this session today. As I said, I'm in the UK. It's not, don't worry, it's not suddenly nighttime where you are. That's it. Nice. Swinging, bringing it in for the hug, arms out to the side, repeating through that movement there. Good work. All right, let's go to some shoulder rotations now, just moving those shoulders around. Change direction. And then we're going to go into, because we're using our poles, we're just going to do some wrist rotations going round. Let's change direction. Good. Okay, so that's the mobility part of the session done. We're going to now move into a part where we start to build our heart rate up a little bit more. So it's not the main part of the session, but it's the part of the session where we start to raise that heart rate a little bit, nice and gently, but we're going to get it up there eventually towards the end of it. And we're going to be using our poles as well. So for those of you who came in a little bit later, we're using a pole for today's session. If you don't have a pole, that's not a problem. I'm going to show you what you can do. You could also use a towel, a t-shirt, anything you can hold in both hands, about shoulder width apart, that's relatively light here. Good. Okay, so I've got a 14-minute timer set up here. What we're going to do over the next 14 minutes is go at 5 out of 10 pace. So it's not going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be in between the two with our pace here. And it's all about just building up that heart rate, nice and gentle and controlled. Every minute we're going to be changing exercise. And if all of that sounds confusing or you need, you just like, what just happened? That's absolutely fine. I'm going to guide you every step of the way and we're going to be doing it together here. So just follow along with me and staying at that 5 out of 10 pace. Good. All right. I got the timer ready to go here. That means we've got a 15-second countdown starting now. And we're going to start with some paddling, like we're in a kayak. to begin with, just paddling around just like so. And again, you can do it with a pole or without the pole, but we'll be going in 3, 2, 1, off we go. So we're just paddling around just like so, either with the pole, without the pole. Even if you're just doing it single arm as well, that's absolutely fine. Just get those arms going around at about 5 out of 10 pace. So again, it's not easy and it's not hard. It's in between the two. Nice. And this is just a really nice pace just to start to slowly build the heart rate up.
Halfway there.
And get it prepared for some harder stuff coming up later. And I say each minute we're going to change the exercise. On the next one, in 20 seconds from now, we're going to do the same movement but in the opposite direction. But we'll just keep it going here for now. Getting those arms going round. 10 seconds to go. Don't go too big or too small. Just try and keep it nice, easy size here. 3, 2, 1. Change direction and keep it moving. Sometimes backwards can be a little bit more uncoordinated, but just try your best to get those going around nice and controlled and keeping at that pace. The pace here is the main thing, just to make sure we are building our heart rate up nicely. Good work. And it's going to seem pretty easy to begin with here, just going at this pace. But when we get to maybe 5, 6, 7, those sort of minutes, we start to feel a little bit warmer, maybe breathing a little bit heavier. If you have the ability to track your heart rate with the watch as well, you may find that that's raised a little bit too. But whatever it is, you'll certainly notice a difference as we get, I say, about maybe 5, 6, or 7 out of these, then you'll start to feel it a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to go both arms around, forwards, together. And again, staying at 5 out of 10 pace. It's nothing too hard. It's not too easy. It's just building the heart rate up. Good. So just nice circles here. Again, with these ones, try not to go too small. Don't go too big either. I like to sort of go between sort of the lap and the shoulder height. That seems to work quite well. Staying at 5 out of 10 pace. And just like before, if you don't have the pole, just do it the same movement without the pole. Nice and simple. The exercise, in fact, is probably the least important part of this. The pace, the effort that we put in terms of staying at 5 out of 10, that's the focus here for this session. We just change the exercises to keep it interesting. Talk about that. 3, 2, 1. We're going to change direction and go the opposite way. So same movement, opposite direction. So yeah, the movements here are more to keep it, keep it interesting, keep it different. But there may be some exercises that you can't do or really struggle to get through a good range of motion. And if that is the case, but you're like, I still want to keep moving, that's fine. Just go to an exercise that you can do, just keep moving. And the more you do these sessions, the more understanding you have of what exercises you can do, the more understanding of what 5 out of 10 looks like for you, how it feels. So don't worry if you're not getting it just yet. It's all right. Over the next couple of weeks or so, you'll start to have a much better idea of how it feels to be doing this pace. Good. Okay, we're coming up to 10 seconds to go. On the next one, we're going to do double arm forwards, and then we're going to do double arm overhead. 3, 2, 1. So push both hands forwards, and then both hands up. Both hands forwards, both hands up. If you don't have a pole, same movement, but without the pole. Or even if you want to do it single arm, or you can only do it single arm, that's fine. Even if it's one arm's going higher than the other. If those are the adaptations you need to make, that's fine. Just try and go for a good range of motion. So reach up the best you can, reach forwards the best you can, and then repeat through that. So forwards and then up, forwards and up. I'll come to the side as well, just so it's easier to see. Forwards and up, forwards And up. There we go.
Second.
10 seconds to go. On the next one, we're going to pretend we're in a canoe this time and paddle down to the left side. 3, 2, 1. So grab the pole and almost like we're paddling in a canoe. And I'll come around to this side now actually as well. So just coming down to the side, just like so. If you don't have a pole, just imagine you've got that pole when you're paddling. Imagine that oar's going in, you're pulling it back, bringing it out, and just moving through that. Good work.
Halfway there.
Halfway through this one. You may have guessed what's coming up next. We're going to do the same movement, but on the other side. But we've got another 20 seconds before we're doing that. So just keep it moving here, staying at that 5 out of 10 pace here. As I said, about 5, 6, or 7, you start to feel a little bit warmer. Maybe feel it in your arms a little bit. We're at number 6 now, so this is about the time we should be feeling it a little bit. 3, 2, 1, switching over to the other side. And just keep it moving there. Good. Moving for a good range of motion. Alrighty. So this is number 7. And we've been doing a 5 out of 10 pace for this first 7. We've got 7 more to go, so we're halfway through this 14. On the next one, we're going to change the exercise again, but we're going to slightly increase the pace up to 6 out of 10. So it's not a huge jump. It's just a slight increase in pace. Okay, so just a tiny bit harder as you're going through this. So just pick up the pace a little bit. And the first exercise we're going to do is some punching forwards, alternating the hands. And I'll show you that as we get into it in 3, 2, 1. So go one arm forwards, then the other. Repeat through just like so. If you don't have a pole, you probably guessed it. Pushing those arms forwards, punching them there. Get good extension with those arms. And just keeping it going. And as I said, we'll raise it up slightly up to 6 out of 10. So it's not a huge increase in pace, but it's a slightly noticeable one.
Halfway there.
Halfway through this particular one. Let's keep those arms moving. 6 out of 10 now. Good work so far. Alrighty, on the next one, we're going to do a very similar thing, but instead of going forwards, we're going to go up above our heads instead, or at least the best you can up. And I'll show you that as we get into it in 3, 2, 1. So going up, one arm, then the other, repeating through. Good work. If you've not got a pole, same movement without the pole, or if you're just doing single arm. It's pretty straightforward here with this in terms of the adaptations that you can make. But if you can't reach all the way up, just get to where you can. If that's head height, chest height, or even just a little bit, if that's what you can do, then that's what you can do.
Wait there.
Halfway through this particular one. Okay, we've got about 15 seconds to go on this one now. On the next one, we go back to punching forwards, but instead of alternating hands, we're going to do both hands together. And that's going to be in 3, 2, 1. So go both forwards and back. I'll turn to the side as well. So just forwards and back, just like so. Pretty straightforward. If you've not got a pole, same movement without the pole. Good work, everybody. And if you've never done this type of exercise before, or you're not a regular exercise person, I don't know I didn't know how to finish that sentence. But if you're not somebody who regularly attends sort of exercise and stuff, you may start to find even this warm-up part can be a little bit tricky. That's often just the first time doing it or the first time back after a while. So don't be discouraged by the fact that this bit's hard, if that's the case for you. It's just something that it's just sort of growing pains as such. It's just a little hump to get over. But the more we do it, the better we get at it. 3, 2, 1. We're going to go up above the head again now, but both arms this time. We got with the pole. We got without the pole. You go as high as you can, if that's head high, whatever it is. Or if you only want to do single arm, or one slightly more than the other. As I say, the exercise itself is the least important part of these exercises. The pace is what we want to be at here with this. So it's all about the effort level we put in. That's what affects our cardio, our heart and our lungs and their ability to work efficiently. And doing these sort of exercises helps to train those heart and lungs to be more efficient and to help us to exercise and then live our daily lives a little bit more efficiently. We've got 10 seconds to go. On the next one, we're going to do some circles in a clockwise direction. I'll show it in 3, 2, 1. So you're going to come around. And we'll start with clockwise. So just coming around. Almost imagine you've got like a dinner plate in front of you. Well, quite a big dinner plate on this. And you're coming around. Get there. And again, with the pole, without the pole, single arm, whatever you need to adapt, do the adaptation.
Halfway there.
Halfway through this particular one. Now we've got 2 more to go here. On the next one, we're going to do it counterclockwise and go the opposite way around. But then you got 1 more after that one. And that last one, I'm going to let you choose the exercise you want to do. So this next one is counterclockwise. I'm going to do that in 3, 2, 1. Change direction. Going counterclockwise. But over the next minute, try and have a think about what you want to do for that last one, whether it's the punching, whether it's the kayaking, canoeing, with both arms going around together, whatever you want to do. If there's one you particularly liked, or one that challenged you even, the only criteria is that you choose the one you want to do. And if you don't know what to do, you can follow along with what I'm going to do, which is going to be the double arm forwards, double arm overhead again. So feel free to follow along with that. If you've completely forgotten or don't know what to do, but we're doing that in 3, 2, 1. So your choice now. I say I'm doing forwards and up. You can do whatever you desire here.
Halfway there.
Good. Well, we got 15 seconds to go. 6 out of 10 still. I know I haven't mentioned that in a little while, but 6 out of 10. All the way through to the end. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work so far, everybody. So you're starting to see the structure of these workouts that we do. So we start with, obviously, most importantly, the chat at the beginning and have it welcoming everybody in. But then we start to do that mobility stuff where we're moving our arms around in the circles and all that kind of stuff. Then we just did that. I like to call that the build set. It's where we build the heart rate, build the body temperature up to where we are now. So now we should be feeling a bit warmer, maybe breathing a little bit heavier, but feel like we're in the flow of things a bit more now. That's a great place to start doing the next bit, which I like to usually introduce a little bit of fast-paced stuff here. Just some short, fast bits. And that is exactly what we are going to do here. And when I'm close to the camera here, sorry, I have to get them close up, but this is where the timer is, so I need to set it up. So we're going to be doing 10 rounds. And it's quite a basic one that we do here. We're going to do 10 rounds, 30 seconds. We're going to do maximum effort, so all out effort, best you can do for 30 seconds. And then we're going to have 30 seconds of complete rest. What we're going to do then is repeat that 10 times. We're going to do some of the same exercises we just did with the pole to keep it nice and simple today. But often we mix it up and change it up. All of these blocks that we do, I have multiple versions of each of them when we mix and match to make every session a little bit different. So what we're doing this week isn't going to be the same as what we're going to do next week, but the structure is the same as such. Cool. All right. I've got this ready to go. So 15 seconds countdown, 30 seconds, maximum effort for this one here. And we're just going to do the kayaking paddle for this first one. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Get those arms going around nice and quick. Get your speed up there and really push yourself to get those arms moving as quick as you can. This is where stuff starts to get a little bit trickier. We're really starting to spike that heart rate up now a little bit more. Get things moving and really put the effort in here. Keep the effort high all the way through to the end here, which is in 3, 2, 1, resting there. That's it. We have a little bit of rest now for 30 seconds, which is just enough, especially in these early days of these sessions, especially because we've had a bit of a big gap between the last session we did that was intense, unless you've been keeping up in your own time. So just building ourselves in slowly, but we will make it harder, and I'll explain a little bit in the next rest period. But we're going to go backwards now on this next one in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Maximum effort again. Go nice and fast. Get those arms going around. That's it. On my screen, I don't want to see the internet being able to keep up with you. I want to see blurry hands. That's it. Good work. And I've got faster internet now as well, so you need to go faster to accommodate for that. That's it. Good work. All the way into the end. Don't let yourself slow down in the last 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good. That's number 2 done. On the next one, both arms around together, okay? So as I said, with this session, we like to mix it up a little bit. Sometimes the hard parts are longer or shorter, and sometimes the rest parts are longer and shorter. So sometimes we might do 40 seconds of maximum effort and 20 seconds of rest, which is a lot harder because we're working harder for longer and we're having less rest. 3, 2, 1. Both arms around together. Maximum effort. 30 seconds. That's it. Off you go. Get them going around nice and quick. And this is all about effort here. So really put that effort in there for another 10 seconds. Keep it going. Keep pushing it. Don't let yourself drop off in the last 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Great work so far, everybody. So we've got another 30 seconds of rest. Same movement in the opposite direction. And now you should definitely feel quite warm, quite energized. And that's exactly where we want to be right now. This is the point of this part of the session. Get those intervals in. Get that effort level high. Going in. 3, 2, 1. Backwards. Off we go. That's it. Nice work. Keep it going fast. Keep those arms going round. That's it. We're over halfway now. Push it through to the end. And 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work. Often with these as well, it's not necessarily how fast you can go. It's often how little you can slow down through the 30 seconds. So try and maintain the fast pace that you do from the outset. Alrighty, on the next one, we're going to do double arm forwards, double arm overhead. And 3, 2, 1. Off we go, forwards and up. Nice and quick. Keep it moving. Still good range of motion. Get those arms up. Get those arms forwards as best you can. But nice and quick. Maximum effort. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Whew. Sound feel a bit there. Good. All right, that's 5 done there. We've got another 5 to go. We're going to go into our canoeing now, paddling down to the left side for the first one. Ten seconds to go. This one can get a little bit crazy with the speed, so just do the best you can. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Just going all right, we're paddling down to the left side in a canoe. That's it, nice and fast. Keep those arms moving, halfway through, keep pushing it there. All the way through to the end, 10 seconds to go. You got this. Fantastic work, everybody. 3, 2, 1, resting there, good. And I did an example of what you shouldn't do there, which is slow down on the last second into the end. Push through right the way to the end. I'll give myself a slap on the wrist for that one. You'd have to punish yourself, though. That's only for me. All right, we're going to go on to the other side now. 10 seconds to go. So to the right side now, paddling there. 3, 2, 1, off we go. As if you're in a canoe, you're paddling down the river, but you're going as fast as you can. I almost like to try and imagine I'm going upstream, and I'm really trying hard to keep myself from going backwards. That's what I'm picturing in my mind as I'm doing this. That's it, all the way through to the end. And 3, 2, 1, resting there. 3 more to go. Next one, we'll do the punching forwards, alternating hands. Some of you may find this easier just to put the pole down with this one, because it can be a little bit tricky with going fast with the punching forwards. But do as necessary. You can always drop it halfway through. Safely, that is, anyway. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Nice and quick arms. Punching them forwards. Don't worry about fully extending it so much. Just get that speed up. Get those arms going and get that heart rate up. Get it pumping. Good work. Keep pushing it here all the way through. Halfway. Keep it going. You're doing great work so far. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work, everybody. Next one, we're going to be punching up above our head. Ten seconds to go. Up above our head next. I don't mind if you do alternating hands or both hands together, whatever you would feel like. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Oh, my pole got shorter. There we go. Halfway through. 10 seconds to go. Keep pushing it all the way through. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work. And we got one last one to go. And again, I'm going to let you choose what you want to do. If you don't know what to do, I'm going to do double arm forwards on this one. So feel free to do the same, or just choose one that you prefer, or don't prefer even, if just one that challenges you. That's absolutely fine. We're going to go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. That's it. Keep those arms pushing. Whichever exercise you're doing. Hard work here. Pushing it through halfway. This is the last one of these 30 seconds max. Let's make sure it counts all the way through to the end. In 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Ooh, good work, everybody. If you have a drink, now is a great time to have it. If you don't have a drink, I always recommend bringing it to the session, which I have failed to do myself today. I'm out of practice, what can I say? And I'm going to set up the next timer here that we're going to be doing. So we've still got some more hard work to do. And then we're going to go on to some core work, but I'll explain that as we get into it. That is not what I wanted. Give me a second here. So at this point, we should be feeling quite warm. We should be feeling like our heart rate's up and just generally feeling pretty good about this session. If you are struggling though, like I said in the beginning, just feel free to take a break at any point. Or you can even just reduce the effort a little bit and just keep it going. Just whatever you can do to do whatever you need to do is there. As I said, I'm not going to like berate you if you don't go at the right pace and all that kind of stuff. I'm here just to guide you. Do the best you can. If you need to take those breaks, that's absolutely fine. And just in case you don't know what I'm using as a pole, I use a selfie stick, mainly because it's really good for travel. It goes nice and small, but also comes out long enough for me to hold it, which is really handy actually. And it's nice and lightweight, which is great for these sessions. And it means that I can do it and talk as well, because if I use like 3 kilogram bar or something, I'll be not able to talk halfway through this. Good. All right. So we have got 3 rounds here. Each time we're going to do 2 minutes of work and 30 seconds of rest. For the 2 minutes, we are going to be doing it about 8 out of 10 effort. And then we're going to have 30 seconds rest. In fact, we're not going to use our poles this time. We're going to be doing some different exercises here. So put your poles down to the side. Sorry, I forgot to say that. But we're doing, 2 minutes of work and then 30 seconds of rest. I'm going to explain what each 2 minutes is going to be when we get to it. But as I say, first one here is going to be 8 out of 10 effort. So it's going to be fairly hard, but not quite as intense as we did for the 30 seconds. The first exercise we're going to do is what I like to call an adapted burpee. And it's simply you reach down however you can and then reach up however you can. So it's a full sort of upper body movement that we do here. I've got a few adaptations for those who may struggle with it, especially in the core sort of region here. So when you reach down, just get down as far as you can. If that's only just coming to here, or if you can get your arms all the way down, wherever you can get to, getting down quite comfortably is fine. Then to come up from there, you can either push off your lap, or if you're able to, I'd recommend not pushing off your lap and using that spine to help lift you up. Then when you're sat upright, you lift the arms above your head. Try not to tip backwards as you do so. You can always sort of put the arms up and forwards at the same time to make it a little bit safer, or you can put yourself against something if that's the case. So that'll be our first 2 minutes. I'll explain what the other 2 minutes is as we get into it. 8 out of 10 effort, so pretty intense, but not quite as intense as we just did. But for 2 minutes, it's longer, so we shouldn't be able to hold a maximum effort for that long. Good. Alrighty then. Are you ready? We're going to go here in 4, 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Reaching down the best you can. Reaching up the best you can. If you need to push on your lap to help you get up, that's fine. And I seem to be dancing about all over the place, not intentionally. And it's 8 out of 10 effort here. So fairly intense. Pick that pace up to where you feel like you're about 8 out of 10 effort. So you're much faster than the warm-up, but not as fast as the bit we just did. And you'll be in a good spot for 8 out of 10 effort. And we're doing this for 2 minutes here. So it's a fairly long chunk of time to be doing an exercise for. So just do the best you can. And like I've said multiple times during this session, if you need to take an extra break, if you need to drop that pace a bit, that's absolutely fine. I'm just here to guide you. But you're in the control of this session. Be you. Good. We've got 40 seconds to go on this one. So still a good amount of time. Keep that going. Thirty seconds here. Down the best you can, up the best you can. Good work. Another 12 seconds.
10 seconds.
Keep that pace there all the way through to the end. 3, 2, 1. Resting there. So we've got 30 seconds of rest. On the next one, we're going to do one called sit skis. Fairly straightforward with this. We just swing the arms up and through, down and back, almost like we're doing some cross-country skiing, okay? So if you've ever seen that at the Winter Olympics, that's cross-country skiing, where they've got those poles and they've got the skis, and they do the shooting, that's the biathlon one. But they use their arms like so. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So you're swinging those arms. And we're doing 2 minutes of this, of which we've already got 1 minute 40 left. And we're staying at that 8 out of 10 effort here. So it's still fairly intense. Keep those arms moving quickly. Keep that heart rate high, keep things moving. It's great work, keep it going. And we are halfway through this now. So another minute to go. Keep that intensity high. Keep those arms moving. The exercise itself isn't usually taxing in itself. So make sure we are keeping that pace up high. Keeping it at that 8 out of 10. Keeping that heart rate elevated. You guys are doing great. Well done, everybody. Especially if you've had a break, or if you're new to these sessions, or if you're new to exercise. If you're still going on, that's absolutely fantastic. But if you're not, that's fine. That's just where you are at the moment. It's where you're at on your fitness journey. The more we do this, the better you'll get at it, and the more able you'll do it in future sessions. 3, 2, 1, resting there. Whew. Okay, we got one more of these 2-minute blocks to do. And this last one, similar to the first one, but it's like, well, similar to the one we just did. Instead of come up to the front, we're going to come up to the side. This is what we like to call a sitting jack. It's like a jumping jack, but we're sat down. Now, you've got some options here as well. I like to try and keep my arms in line, but if that's too much on your shoulders, you may want to just come up sort of in front a little bit instead. 3, 2, 1, off we go. 8 out of 10 effort. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is my least favorite of the ones. This one really burns my arms. So I both apologize and accept your thanks in in the same sentence as we get through this next 2 minutes. But hey, we've already done 20 seconds, so that's that out of the way. Let's keep it going here, keeping that 8 out of 10 effort. That's good work. Keep it going, pushing yourself the best you can here. And we've got 10 seconds until we're at halfway. There you thought we were almost at the end there. No, we're at halfway. And that is halfway now. Keep those arms going. Mine feel like they want to fall off, but we're going to keep going and doing the best we can. If you need to take that break, take that rest. Or you can just feel the burn in the arms. See, I don't get that luxury. I got to coach you guys. I can't rest. I got to keep going and talk as well. Good work. 30 seconds to go. Keep pushing yourself all the way through to the end. Remember, you can come up in front if you need to. Instead, 20 seconds to go. Excellent work. Coming into the last 12 seconds now. Almost there. 10 seconds to go. And 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Oh. Somebody replaced my shoulders with lead in that last minute, I swear. Good. Alrighty then. Well done with that. That's the end of like the cardio work as such now. So we've done the mobility stuff to start with. Then we did the builds up, getting that heart rate up. Then we try to get that heart rate up as best we can with the maximum effort stuff. And then when it was high, we did that long stuff there, keeping our heart rate high. And that's really, really great for our cardiovascular health, making sure our heart and our lungs and all that kind of stuff is working the best they can do. Have a drink if you need to, and then we're going to move on to a little bit of core work, and then we're going to go into our cool down. The core work is tough in a different way, but it's less like cardio intense. So you'll start to notice your heart rate comes down a little bit as we go through this next little bit. Good. Also, as well, there are going to be some variations on abilities in this group. We have people that have no core or very, very little core, but we also have some people that have full use of your core. I'm going to try and give some adaptations through this, but if you need any extra, if it's too easy or too hard, I've already said at the beginning, but feel free to reach out and we can sort of make a solution with you there. Before we do that, I'm just going to close my windows because all the bugs are coming in. Even though I'm very warm. Okay, I've got a fan on me. That's going to help. Ooh. Alrighty, so the first one we're going to do is a core exercise where simply we bend down to one side and then pull ourselves back up and then bend down to the other side and pull ourselves back up. Start doing that. And as we go through it, I'm going to give you some tips as well to get the most out of this. The first tip here is to try and stay in line here. So we don't want to lean forwards as you go down. We want to stay in line, one side and then the other, back and forth between the two. The other thing as well is if you're finding this a bit too easy, especially already, try not to let momentum help you up. So for example, if I go down to this side without even putting any effort in, I can put this arm up and I automatically sit back up. So that's just making it too easy for me and I'm not working my core. So as I go down, I'm really trying to focus on using that spine to pull myself back up in line, and then I bend over to the other side. So try not to use momentum. Try not to use counteracting it with the weight on the other side. And one way to make it harder is to put both arms down to one side, and then pull up, and then both arms down to the other side. And I can only do like a couple of those. So I'm a C7 incomplete quad. So my core is a bit iffy on that side of things. So I do struggle with doing some of these exercises. Some of you may find it easier. Some of you may find it even more tricky than I do. But that's fine. We're all different levels. Just make those adjustments as necessary. Good. Okay. The next one we're going to do here is similar to the adaptive burpees we did, and similar to the exercise we just did, but instead of going down to the side, we're going to come down to the front. So we come down and then without using our hands, we raise ourselves back up again and we bring it down and raise up again. And this one's really simple to make it easier or harder. The lower your hands are, the easier this is going to be. The more you raise your arms, the harder this is going to be. So find a place which feels like you can do it. And this is the part where I look at the screen and you're all bowing to me, saying thank you for this great session. I really appreciate it. You're so kind to me. Good work. Because if you could only see me on your screen, I can see everybody, and they're all doing. And at 1 second there, you're all doing it in time as well, which was even better. It's all the way down, all the way up. And this is working our lower back muscles. And I'll explain a little bit more about this as we're doing this here. So our core muscles, when we think about it, most people think about like the ones in the belly, the six pack as such, but the core is essentially any muscle that moves the spine, essentially. So the lower back muscles, the obliques on the side, they all move the spine. So therefore they are a form of a core muscle. And that's what this session is all about. We don't just want to work the six pack muscles. We want to work all the other bits and pieces that are really useful for somebody who is either in a wheelchair or is seated a lot more. Good. Okay, rested there a second. I'm just going to check on the time, see where we're at. And we're at 54 minutes. So we are going to bring the exercise part of today's session to an end. But we've got a little bit of cool down here, so don't go anywhere with this. But before we get into it, we're just going to try and bring that heart rate down a little bit more. So just nice deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just continue that there. And as you're doing it, I'm just going to give a little bit of explanation more about the type of sessions we have coming up in the future. So keep your breathing going in through the nose, out through the mouth, just calm the nervous system down. So we always start with the same mobility session at the beginning. The movement of the arms, swinging them around, all that kind of stuff. And that really helps to prepare us very well for the session ahead. It's something that I've worked on over many years, and it just works. So we stick with it for every session. That's usually the first sort of 7-ish minutes of the session. Then we go into the build set. Today we did 14 minutes, pretty much at the same pace. We did half of it, 5 out of 10, then 6 out of 10. Sometimes we mix in a little bit of intensity, like a bit higher pace. Sometimes we go for 20 minutes. Sometimes we bring it down to 10. But generally, it's all about building that heart rate up and getting things moving. So that will be something to expect over if you come to future sessions. Then we go into that more intensity part where the heart rate does go up and it starts to get a lot harder, where we do the intervals usually. And sometimes we do intervals, sometimes we do the longer stuff. Today we did a little bit of both. Sometimes we do a wonderful session called a pyramid set, which everybody loves. And sometimes we do some other new bits and pieces. And then we go into some core work usually, and then bring it into a close, which we're doing now. So continue the breathing going if you feel like doing that, but we're just going to do some neck mobility here. So we're just going to do nice, simple looking up and down to begin with, and just easing through this movement. We don't need to really stretch ourselves here, just nice, easy, flowing movements. Yeah, then we're going to go into some rotations. That's just looking side to side. And then we're going to bring one ear to one shoulder, to the other shoulder. It's a little bit sore for me, so I'm not going to go for a full range of motion today. Just bring nice and gently one side then the other. And we have a little bit of time here, so let's go through the rest of our spine as well. Now we can extend, we can flex down, we can go back and forth between the two. Let's go into some rotation. So rotate round to one side nice and carefully. Then the other side. Back and forth between the two. And this last one here is similar to what we did on the core exercise. We bend down to one side. This is the lateral flexion. I like to hold on this one as we do it. Just getting through that fluid motion there. Good work. As we bring it in to a close there.